Hi, this is Aaron from Galvin Engineering. Today we're going to show you how to maintain a foot valve, just one of our products obviously. This is just one of the straight ones. There's two different codes. One's a 361436 and one is a 361444. Pretty simple. Most cases what you have is they will get blocked or they'll get stuck open. This is the activation, people pushing up and down with their foot all the time, and over a period of time, depending on your water quality, depending on what's going through the water, you can get them to stick, a bit open or shut or something like that. Pretty simple. It's just this piece is being mounted to the ground already, hard fixed in there. What you need to do is remove this top assembly. So you take your wrench, you unscrew that off. Now I've had this one loose obviously just for the video, so that unscrews off. So that comes off, and you have your top assembly. That's the whole top assembly. As you see right there, you've actually got the O-ring seal that seals between the body and the top assembly. The first thing you obviously would do is you would look down inside there, make sure that you don't have any debris or any damage to the actual seat of the body, and that it's all clear there. Move that aside. So what you have is this top assembly. Now to do maintenance, you're going to need to take the handle off because you've got a few different O-rings on here. So what you do, you stick your finger on the brass piece underneath, because if you don't, when you push it down, it drops down. So push your finger down, press it a little bit. In there is a little Allen key. So you stick your Allen key in there, and you unscrew those out. Don't take it fully out, just enough to release it off the top, because you don't want to lose your little screw that's in there. So it takes that off the top. There's nothing about that. That's just the piece that goes over on top. What you will find is you'll find the spring. This is obviously when it's compressed and the handle is locked into this piece right there. That actually, when you push it down, opens up the water. When you let go, it pulls at the handle because it's got the pressure spring, pushes it back up. Sometimes you may have to replace the spring, depends on how much it's really used. I mean, if it's used tons and tons, it may weaken spring over a long period of time, but generally that's pretty okay, so you don't really need to do anything there. So what you have is you have the spindle, the brass spindle, and on top of it you have the little tiny washer. All that washer is just a piece that's designed to help in the wearing of the spindle itself. So you can take that off. You can replace it. Comes in the O-ring kit. Just put it on top. What you need to do then is you take your finger and just push that through. That comes out this side, as you can see. When you pull it apart, just leave it apart gently. What you'll find is you'll have an O-ring right there. This O-ring right here is where it keeps the water from going through the tap when activating up the spindle and out. So that O-ring there, generally take that off, replace it as well, because it does get worn over a period of time. The only other piece you have is this piece right here. This is the piece that causes the seal to the body around here. When the tap is activated, this pushes down, water goes through the little hole in there, and that's out through the body. So that goes up through there, so it goes through the center and out through those side grooves right there through the body, and then that's how the water goes through. What you can happen is obviously over time calcium, dirt and stuff builds up, wears that O-ring. So I would suggest you take this O-ring off. So you pull it apart, take that O-ring off, take this piece off as well, because that can get a bit of wearing on it. Generally not, but it's just a piece you can replace. You need to inspect the spindle, because what happens if they get stuck open for a period of time, water can cut a groove in this piece right here, and this is where the water's sealed on that washer down here. When it's pushed down, water flows past this and up through the body. When it's shut, this piece right here, this flat piece, seals against the O-ring right there. Not the O-ring, but the washer. So you may have to replace this spindle piece as well. Depends on how bad your water is, and if it's gotten stuck and no one's actioned anything, it could have grooved the piece there. So essentially, you pull that O-ring off, put a new one on, you put this piece back on, it just pushes over it. Very simple. Pops on, What you then do is you take your body and inspect your body, inspect that O-ring, make sure that's good, inspect the body, make sure there's nothing. Grease this up with a like hydrosil grease or just the grease that is okay for human consumption. When you start putting that back in, just put it in there gently, just to push through. See, now it's pushed through, the O-ring's a bit stuck there. Then just push it through again, because that's pushing now into the, you can see the O-ring right there, and that's pushing into the top part of the body. That's the part that seals. Position that washer back into that body. It's just pushed in, go around, just kind of push that in. That makes it nice and tight. As you see, that spindle is nice and free because it's all greased up. So that's actioning fine. So what you'll do from there is that you're basically going to reassemble that into the body. But first, now that that's going up and down, it's been greased, it's nice smooth operation. You take that little O-ring, which like I said will be replaced in the little O-ring kit if you ask for one. You slide that back over and then push that down to the body there. You take the spring, push that spring back over. Now this is where you're going to have to hold your finger on it again. This handle, so you just take the handle, you push it back over top, keep your finger on the bottom of the brass piece, and when you push that down, just have to maneuver that button into the space. When you push that down, you need to hold that bottom piece too. You need to compress it together so that that grub screw, when you tighten it in, locks into the top piece of that spindle, which had the groove in it. So you tighten that back in, give it a nice good snug. Now you have that top assembly. It's been serviced, it's all running nice and free. You find that body after you've inspected to make sure all the debris and everything's cleaned out of it, and that seat inside there's okay, and that O-ring, you've replaced that comes in the kit as well. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 little O-rings. You can get the spindle as well. You put that back on, and you just tighten it down, screw it down. That basically makes the tap been serviced. You need to really do this, you know, it depends on how much it's used, where it's used, what the water quality is, a lot of different factors in there. You should really actually do this at least biannually if it's in a food prep area, anywhere it's been used quite a bit, just to make sure things are tightened down, that the O-ring seals, because if you leave it where it's stuck open, the water continually flowing through it, it will actually eat away your spindle, and then you'll have more parts to replace. So if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of one of the guys in the office on 089-249-5900. That's in Western Australia. You still can call us if you're Eastern States for assistance, and we can give you some more information if you're chasing anything. Thank you very much. This is Galvin Engineering Production. Have a nice day.